week when I visited my doctor for my general health checkup. And he asked me to step on the weighing scale. He looked at me and he looked at the weighing scale and he said, these days only phones are getting slimmer and smarter. On that note, let us start the round table. And digitization has touched our lives in more ways than we know of. And we are here discussing about smart shop floor, or someone said connected factory. So let us start with Mr. Malhotra and we go round this way. When you hear the term smart shop floor, what are the key elements of smart shop floor you feel are part of the smart shop floor?
To me, on smart shop floor, everything is moving by the system. Manual intervention is not there, whether in terms of calculations or whether in terms of data entry or whether in terms of material balancing. All is moved by the system. Whether you use barcode or you use Oracle or something, all are moving with the system. So we have the system and it has been inbuilt by the sensors and by the codings. Everything is moving as per them, so material flow happens with that one. That will be a smart floor for me. And on top of this, if I can get, like now what we are doing, vibration analysis. It will come, somebody will put to the computer, then he will make the analysis, then he will decide on the predictive maintenance. If this can be done and I get the direct result that this bearing is bad, instead of first putting it to the computer and then analyzing, that directly I take the instrument to the bearing, get the data and get the information. These are due for predictive maintenance. That will be better for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Holmberg, please.
I belong to a generation, obviously, that grew up with computers, and I work now in an environment where the smart systems are not yet fully implemented. Being in India obviously lowers the amount of technology that we can use due to the fact that labor cost is low. So where in Germany or in the US we use technology, sometimes a lot of the processes here we do manually. However, you ask me what is smart, or what I consider as smart on the shop floor, smart systems on the shop floor or in operations. When I look at operations, then a lot of the things currently done manually, when you really think about it, you don't need humans doing that, counting things and stamping things and carrying paperwork back and forth. And I think for me, smart would be technology that allows humans to concentrate what humans really should do, being creative and let the monotonous, repetitive things done by smart systems.
Well, I also agree with Felix what he says. The manufacturing sector is the most, the sector where the IT has not been taken over still, and where there is a lot of scope of IT. What I feel as a smart is, if you see the Walmart shops, the way the inventory is controlled, the way the things are controlled, that is the way we want to control the shop floor, where the metal availability is like Toyota system. This is the smart thing which we want to have in our shop floors. That is my idea of shop.
I'm actually in a smart business just now. This is a smart business in the sense that, I mean, these are ready-mix products which are available to construction industry, which saves a lot of labor in terms of smartness of doing business in the construction space. Simultaneously, I mean, as Mr. Felix was talking about, there are a number of areas within the plant operation where I believe mechanization can take place. And over the last 3 years, we have managed to halve our manpower in terms of what is being done inside the factory, which was, I mean, essentially manual driven, but now we are trying to make it machine driven in as many areas as possible. I think from both the plant perspective as well as from the customer perspective, we are in a smart business and we want to continue to be smart in trying to reduce manpower in all areas of construction activity?
Hi. So I belong to an industry where we do huge volumes. Typically, our daily number of products that we make is roughly about 8,000 to 10,000. So we do deploy some robots, and we have a lot of RFIDs in our factory. But I feel we are sort of stale. For example, the way the mobile revolution is happening, or the way e-commerce revolution is happening, I think we have not caught it up. I think we are lagging behind by what we have done 10 years back. To me, what smart means is, I think we don't interact with the machines, as the first two persons have said. I think we have not yet started interacting with machines automatically. So I think I have seen the presentation which you have made. I think that is really interesting, and we really look forward to have this type of interactions. Of course, currently it is done by supervisors who download the data. And why do we want to have this data is, of course, to solve the problems on day-to-day basis. Otherwise, definitely I'm not required in my company but for solving the problems. So now where we lag is the speed of resolution of the problem. Instead of taking, say, 2 hours, 3 hours, probably how to solve in 10 minutes, like that. That would be my challenge.
Hi. What I understand about, I think, very pertinent question, Manish, which you have asked. But my sense is, smart is probably not the destination. I think it is going to be a continuous journey. I don't think any of us can say that today I'm really doing things smartly, because anytime when you see any given point in time, you will always find somebody else doing smarter than you. So I think it's just a matter of a time and the recognition that what you're doing today, and find an opportunity to continually improve. I had one of the around 250 or probably 250 plus manufacturing unit which AkzoNobel has worldwide, and 6 of them are in India. And the plant which I had in Hyderabad, there are 2 plants actually. So the one was set up in 1970, and 3 years back we did the greenfield expansion. So we jokingly say that we have a 40-year-old plant, and then we have a 40-month-old plant as well. So that's when actually any of us, if you can visit the plant, you will find that what actually a smart is. Because the plant which we have invested recently in 40 months is actually a plant which is highly automated. And clearly, when you look at the numbers in terms of productivity and anything, the newer plant is probably 5 or 6 times the productivity which is given by the old plant. Definitely, 5 years down the line, definitely something smarter will come in terms of the technology and the solutions. In addition, I'm a firm believer that anything which gets measured will get improved. And I think in the smart sense, I would look forward to something, whatever is there in the happening on the shop floor, whether it is man, machine, movement, material, inventory, cycle time, PCT, anything. I think we should start measuring those. I see huge scope on that because we tend to give we are neglected about all the measurement system which is there in the plant. Only when we start understanding where we are, then only we can define what we can actually achieve. So my focus is more on measuring what we are doing today, so that we can deploy the right solution when we say it is a smart solution.
So I agree, Mr. Srinivas, as he said, we are spending a lot of energy, a lot of time in understanding the data where we are not able to analyze, because our current factors are saying that we are spending more hours in capturing a data is by a manually, where we unable to analyze them with the proper time, and it makes us to default in our delay in understanding the manufacturing concepts, where we able to also, as Mr. Felix said, our engineers are mostly spent in the data capturing than they are been analyzing the data, where I able to see the smart manufacturing will help us to concentrate on the analysis, which will be the basics to improve our productivity or process what we are expecting to achieve our goals.
Smartness, I feel the machines connected, and we have the OE data. to improve on the productivity or maintenance management and the inventory control through various software like SAP, which is once again connected to the shop. So I would think these two are the key factors for the smart manufacturing.
Yeah, coming to the point of smart, I may be sounding little different because it is exactly the striking the balance between the automation is actually extremely required, and with this kind of country where we are living, this manual still it is not very costly in the operating level. So it is not going straight away for the fully automated and see that, so there's always a challenge between the responsiveness and the efficiency because highly competitive. So whoever we are sitting here, some of them are competitor to each other, or some of them are the supplier or the customer. So they highly in the competitive field. So we have to really strike the balance between the automation and the manual dependency. Coming to the point of really what I am looking for, my industry where from I am coming, is we are mainly dealing maximum on the project management. So it is not like made to stock, it is made to order. So that kind of industry we are really struggling, and some of them are coming extremely with the different kind of products where some of them are runner models and some of them are so coming as a very new animal. But we can't differentiate and say the customer that we don't want this because we have to take it as a package. So now the major challenges we are facing is that customer order tracking in the entire value chain because the lead time is also a little higher. Okay, so in my opinion, that what the smart we are looking for is tracking the entire value chain on the real-time basis without losing the flexibility which we are having now. Okay, so we can say that we can always hypothetically say take a order, continuously execute and give it. Okay, that seems to be very simple if you are making only one flow line. But if you are going to handle the multiple projects, maybe sometimes you are handling more than 500 to 600 projects at a time, and with the different specifications, different what is it called, the requirements. And if you are going to the variety, it will be running into the innumerable numbers, which we cannot even imagine. So how to make that kind of this one to be completely integrated in such a way that we can, ultimately what we are in the business is to make the customer to be delivered on time with the least cost. So that's the area how to track it on time and how to take a decision faster, and how to make that that complete the documentation is also one of the very important area, because every valve is like an equipment where it has to go with the safety standards and everything in place. So we have done a lot of things. Okay, now I'm not saying that we are far away. We are almost like what you said. The smart is a continuously evolving one. We can't say that I am already smarter. Then there's no need for us to sit here. So that is the where we are looking for without affecting our, or how to integrate to our existing SAP system which is in place. That's the area where we are looking for. Maybe my senior colleague Mr. Ravindra will be add more on that. Okay, thank you very much, to look forward to you all.
Yeah, to me, what the smart shop floor means is that where the non-value added activities are eliminated or minimized. We all aware as a plant manager, there are 7 wastes which are happening and eating away our resources, and a shop floor where we are able to seemingly connect the informations. You all aware that the information is lying in pockets, and very large organizations, maybe the MNCs who have started, they have a very good system connecting the various departments and have a real-time data access. And though we have ERP systems and other things, but still the manufacturing per se, which is happening in the shop floor, there is a lot of disconnect. The data are getting duplicated and multiple sources are happening. These are all the sort of takes away the resources. The another thing which we all of us are, as a plant manager, face challenge is that the inventory piling up, and which we are not able to get the real-time information. So maybe we need to depend on the finance guy to give the data, and also the searching time. Tracking is one important thing which I think Shanmugavel talked about. Our industry is basically I would say a batch processing industry where 90% I would say is made to order, and each and every customer specs are different. Even if you take a simple carbon chemistry, you will have about 20 different variations in that. So we need to manufacture that to the particular customer requirement. And the shop floor people, they have a big challenge of not having the mix-up taking place in the component. Even if it is a small component, if there is going to be a mix-up, it is going to cause a hell of a lot of problem for the customer. So tracking, and then even the specifications what the customer has spread, that has to be communicated to the shop floor guys. So this is a big challenge I see, and even the tracking, when I talked about tracking, our industry, particularly valve industry, is again a labor intensive one. Though we have automated machines, CNC, 5-axis machines, there are a lot of interventions manually has to be done. We deal with castings. Castings, all of you are aware that when you will not be able to get a defect-free casting or zero defect casting, some amount of dressing has to be done. That has to be done manually. And when you do some process like grid blasting or phosphating or any other process, the surface can get opened up, the defects can open up, and the only way of doing it is dressing it up. And when we do this sort of things, as I told you that there are, each valve is made to a particular specification, and there are chances that some of these things can get lost in the shop floor. Each things moves from one building to another building. So the technology like RFID is what we are looking at for tracking, and also to minimize the search time. The other, apart from the shop floor smartness, we also identified as a business imperative for the future that our products, what we are manufacturing, they have to be smart. When I mean smart, they should have sensors. You are aware that when we supply valves for oil and gas, particularly countries like USA and the Europe, the emission norms are very stringent. So particularly US Environmental Protection Act says that emissions from many of these equipment in the refinery or the process industry has to be controlled within a close limit. It's going to be 500 ppm. Earlier it was 500 ppm, then they brought it down to 100, now it is 50 ppm. And the plant manufacturer, the process owners, if they are going to exceed the limit, they are going to be penalized by the government. So they pay a lot of money as a penalty for exceeding that. Now they are manufacturers, the end users are shifting the onus of responsibility to the manufacturers. So they are expecting the manufacturer to provide a solutions. So the asset management, the product lifecycle management also is becoming sort of a business imperative. And we are also thinking in terms of developing a smart valves which will have sensors fixed onto it. And if there is going to be the emission is going to exceed it, then probably it should send a signal or it talk to the central server unit or whatever it is, then ask for sort of replacement of the packing gaskets. And if there is going to be a valve which is going to be used in a critical installations like say for example in a nuclear containment or in any other critical process industry, then it should be able to even do prediction of failure of components. And this is what we find that in our industry, a lot of people, our competitors and players are working on that. So in that direction, apart from the smartness in the shop floor, I think we are also looking into the building the smartness on the products what we are manufacturing. Though we know in our country it is going to be a sort of lot of challenges are going to be there. We cannot get that technology at cheaper rates. Though we talked about smart materials, a lot of research is happening, but still we are not able to use the smart materials which has been easily available abroad in our product because of the cost implications. Okay, thank you.